first thing you need is some tree protection. You can use carpet, towels. This is a specific tree protection from Gibbon. It's got some Velcro, so it fits into place quite nicely. First thing you want to do is put your tree protection on. This is not quite fitting, not a big deal. As long as the back and the sides are covering, that's fine. The main thing with tree protection is you want it to protect the bark of the tree. If you don't use tree protection, it can damage the tree, and also you want to protect your line. So always use tree protection. Initially starting, you want your line just above the knee if you're a beginner, and then depending on how far the line's apart, how much mountain you want, you'll vary it maybe above the knee to the top of the hip. First part, you've got the small part of your line with the ratchet. Now the ratchet, if you want to get a good shot of this, the ratchet's locked closed at the moment, and then to unlock it, you just pull and then it will open. So as soon as you let that go, it'll lock into place. So we need to first start with the handle pointing in that direction, downwards, not on top, downwards. Get the line around the tree, and then you have to feed the ratchet, adjust, make sure your line is nice and flat. And this is really important here. Get in for a close-up. We need to crimp the line. We need to curl and then make it a little bit tighter. So you can see there, I've folded the webbing so the edges are facing up. And there we go. So you should have that little curl there, very important. Once the line becomes tight, if you don't have that little curl, then it will tend to be at an angle and you want your line nice and flat. So there we go, that's ready on that end. Okay, now we've got the longer part of the other line. Find another tree. At the moment I haven't got tree protection in. I've left my other Gibbon green tree protector at home. I'm just going to use a towel on this end. So first of all, same as you did before, with the shorter line, around the tree, rest of the line through the loop. Maybe about half high. Again, very important. Make sure you have your little loop there and get it a little bit, not too tight because I haven't put my tree protection in. And now I'm just going to put the tree protection in. So the beauty of the Gibbon tree protector is that it's nice and thin and just slots in nicely. The towel can be a little bit fiddly. Right, there we go. So again, loop, push it in tight, and we're ready to go. So now you need to walk along the line, make sure it's flat, follow the line, come down to the end. As you can see, we've actually switched trees. So grab your ratchet. Now you have to feed it through the slot there. Feed it through and down, and now we just thread it through. Okay, now what you need to do, if you can just step back a bit and get a better shot, we want to get as much tension as we can on the line first. So I've got a hand here and I'm just going to pull underneath, get it pretty tight. Now what I do is I just make sure the lines are together, grab the handle. Now the handle's locked, remember I have to grab that little lever there, and I want to click it, it's open, and open it. Okay, now it's ready to ratchet tight. So hands in place, this is all you do, keep ratcheting it. There you go. Now in terms of, if you want to get a little bit higher shot, in terms of how tight, you want to get used to practicing at different tensions. So when the line's really tight, reasonably tight at the start, it can be a little bit easier. The slackline line, it tends to move around, it can be a little bit harder. Some people find it easier, some people harder. So always practice with the lines at different tension. So at the moment, probably still a little bit too loose. Little tip, once it starts to get to be a little bit hard, what you can do is flip this over, and now I can use my body weight to lever. Do you want to get a little shot a little bit further back? And I can use my body weight to pull on it. When you've finished, you want to make sure that little lever is there, and you want to flip that down. Always make sure the ratchet is facing the bottom. So at the moment you can see my line has twisted a little bit. Doesn't matter too much, but when you're actually learning, you want the line to be as flat as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it. To undo it, pull on the lever, pull it all the way in this direction, keep pulling, and then lift up. Bang, it comes loose. So what I should have done at the start is make sure, and if you've got two people, you can have one person at one end, for example at the other end, making sure this isn't twisted and that it's nice and flat when you ratchet the line. So other end's looking pretty good. I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to feed it through. Okay, so that's looking flatter, it's not twisted. We'll try it again. Pull the lever, start to ratchet. Okay, you'll notice it starts to get a little bit hard, and it's hard to pull it in this direction. That's when it's good to flip it over, and you can get a few more. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's in hard, and you can see there now it's nice and flat. It's not twisted. Yep. Okay, when you're walking the slack line, important things to remember are don't look down either at your feet or down in front of you. Always look at a fixed point, usually at the end of the line, and keep focused there. You'll get a feel for balance without having to look. If you look down, you're not going to balance as well. Bend your knees. Once you get on the line, stiff knees, locked legs will make you really unbalanced. You want to be relaxed. So bend the knees, sink down. Tightness, it's not good for balance. So bend the knees, sink down, arms up. It's not like a tightrope where you may be using arms or an object for balance. You want to be loose. You're going to be using the whole body to balance. So arms up, look down the line, bend the knees, weight into the balls. Okay, when you first get on the line, usually you want the foot to be very light. When you're first trying slacklining, you'll start here and the leg will tend to shake. Yeah, the reason being you're putting too much weight on the line. You want no weight whatsoever. Now, if you can just come back to get up on the line, you want to just stand straight up. Don't start to push like this. You just want to hop up, straight up. Bang. Bend the knees, arms up, look down the line, not straight leg, just relax. But don't push down before you get up, your leg will shake. Light leg, hop up, knees bend, very important, bend the knees, bend the knees. Now usually at the start, most people try and walk and they'll fall off. Important thing with slacklining, you need to be able to balance. Don't try and walk too early. So the best way to learn is just practice balancing on one leg. Now you'll notice my leg can come out to the side. I'm using my arms. If you have to, you can bring the foot back. But the most important thing, knee bend, look down the line. Then you can just start to change legs. Step up. Now when you can hold maybe 5 or 10 seconds, you can start to change feet. A few seconds on each leg. Bend the knees, look down the line, and you can see I can use my whole body to balance. Now when you start to put that together, you can just start to walk. So I'm using my arms. Practice going backwards.